able to toss it in. Rebounds off the backboards. John Perron finds his winger, Eric Perardi. Moving it back to Mid-Ice. Coming across Healy. Healy's try just wide. In behind the net. Picked up by the defense. And played up the right wing. Here comes Colgate. Moving it on the near side to Profio. Profio trying to one-hand it. Slides it to Harter. At the point, Creighton. Creighton unloading a wrist shot. That's blocked. Comes back to Steves. Steves, for Colgate, deals it behind the attacking net. Played on the wall, picked up by the Engineers and cleared, and an icing call on that one to stop the play. 14:20 left in this third period. RPI up 2-1, and some interesting stories about Patrick Rochon.
Oh, it was incredible. What had happened was he was waving his stick in the dressing room, I guess it was between periods, and accidentally hit one of the lights that were the fluorescent, not fluorescent lights, fluorescent, I guess, but no, what do you call those lights? They're the long ones, the real long ones. Fluorescent lights, whatever. And smashed open, and it was falling down, and all the stuff fell onto the equipment of some of the players who were already sweating, and they had to undress, go take a shower, clean up all the equipment, and as this is all happening, the coach walks in the room and he says, "Patrick, what happened?" He says, "What did you do?" He says, "Oh, Coach, I just waved my stick and I twinkled the light." And so that twinkle name stuck with him all season long. And every time he hits somebody, he says he twinkles them.
Well, he sure is playing some fine hockey in his defensive post here for the Engineers. All right, with RPI up 2-1, action unfolds in the neutral area. Played back across the line by Jack McIntosh, the right defenseman for the Red Raiders. Back at the flank. Richardson able to clear. Neutral territory. Taken back. Here comes McIntosh. Losing control of the puck. Finally, it rolls back to center ice. Creighton there for Colgate. Creighton's able to bang it in. Back around the boards it goes. Handled behind the net. And taken by the defense. Engineers, Chris Kiley. Played to the center ice area and then shuffled in. And icing called to get the whistle. So there's a break in the action. 13:26 to go. In regulation, it's RPI 2, Colgate 1. You're watching the ECAC semifinals coming your way from Olympic Arena in Lake Placid on the Empire Sports Network.
It starts with the drop. And from that point on, it's nothing but non-stop end-to-end excitement. The nation's top skaters lace them up on the college hockey game of the week.
Game 2 of the CCHA semifinals live.
Soccer's most dynamic stars showcase their talents in one of the world's most elite divisions, the English Premier Soccer League.
Watch match 1 of the FA Cup 6th round Saturday at midnight.
Edition of Hockey Hotline with host Mike Robitaille tomorrow afternoon at 1 right here on Empire Sports Network. Well, a one-goal game, RPI leading it 2-1, and the draw back at the left side of Mike Tamburo. Kelly Askew winning the duel, and he pulls it to Brian Tapper, his defender. Tapper sliding it down to the Colgate end, and another icing call stopping the play. Well, the Engineers obviously will play it cautiously, leading 2-1, but they also have to watch out that they don't get too cautious here, nursing that one-goal lead.
Exactly, Roger. We've seen coaches tell their clubs, boys, we have enough to win right now. Let's sort of sit back. But that's the last thing a player needs to hear, because all of a sudden they start sitting back on their heels and watching the other team come at them all period long. But Colgate has got to try to get inside that scoring area, that slot area, to get a good opportunity. They've been in there a couple times this period, but not enough to get one by Mike Tamburo.
And somebody jumped the gun off the draw. We'll set things up. Following this game, the other semifinal battle, we'll see Clarkson take on the Princeton Tigers.
On the ice right now in defense is Rod Pimenter, and he's from Mississauga, Ontario. He's the assistant captain for this team. His mother had a stroke last year, and she credits him with her recovery. He spent a lot of time with her, taking her for walks through the park and helping her with her rehab. So, a real character, and Rod Pimenter.
Back inside the Colgate zone, there's Pimenter. He steers it to Garzone, and here comes Garzone, the rushing defender. Centers it, hit wide by Loxgard, banged around the glass and slides back into Colgate ice. 12:50 to play in the third. And there's Pimenter in the corner, beating Matthews to it. Able to clear as Askew was in there breaking it up. Played free by Cronin. Back on the right side, Fogarty. He's effectively checked to the corner by John Perron. And then sliding down to the Colgate line. There's the Busher. The Busher able to dump in despite a heavy check from Askew. Teams changing on the fly. At the left corner, moving out Doug Taglian. He works it back over the red line, off the stick of Dance. And back forward is Dexter on defense for Colgate. 12 minutes to go in the third. A one-goal lead for the Engineers. Neutral territory. John Dance dumping in. Comes right to the stick of the defense for the Engineers. Played free by Perron. Now recovered by Dance. He deals it in. Tamburo helps it along and swings it up and clears the zone himself. Heads up play by Tamburo. There's Dexter putting it way up into the air. Finally, as it drops down to the ice, collared by Patrick Brownlee. On the right wing for Chris May. Neutral territory. Here's Jeff Brick. Brick moving in. Brick to the high slot. Can't get away from Dance. Here comes Harter. Dangerous man with that puck. Harter centers and goes through a maze of players. Nobody able to get it. Back out comes Jeff Brick, 1 against 2. Brick, slot area, unleashing a wrister. That's wide of the goal. And the rebound, Harter overskates it. Centered. And a goal. What a save! Benzovich robbing the drive by Kiley. On a beauty with that leg pad. Here
nice
comes
play.
Harter.
Nice play by John Dance, making a sliding save to stop the RPI team from getting a shot on net.
Now Bang back near the blue line. Slides to center. Craig is there. He throws it in. Go back for the Engineers. The defense in control. Adam Bartel. Off to Chris Kyler. Now Bartel. Headband. Here comes Hamlin. Hamlin against the right boards. Hamlin centers, and 3 players try to gain control. Finally, Colgate gets it. Drew Burgess clearing. And gets some help from Craig at his left defensive post. Midway now in the third. 2-1 RPI. Craig flipping it in. Coming back for it. The RPI defense. Chased down by Patrick Rochon. He and Tapper are paired on defense. Rochon for Regan. Regan dropping it back in the direction of Richardson, but on the way, the back-checking Lofstad gets it. Right side, Fogarty! And Tamburo comes out to make a stick-hand save.
Fogarty has been there from that wide-angle shot time and time again in the last couple of periods, and just had another opportunity there again.
The hard drive by Jeff O'Connor, and Brzezowicz comes up big again. 9:49 to go in the third. RPI continues to lead 2-1 over the Colgate Red Raiders. You're watching the Empire Sports Network.
Reggie takes it strong pursuit.
We have, I think, mourned Reggie, and now's the time to celebrate. And so today's press conference is really to tell you the plans that have been put together to really celebrate both the career and the life of a very extraordinary man.
Join host Tommy Heinsohn and Mike Gorman as we pay tribute to Celtics captain Reggie Lewis and help raise money and awareness for the Reggie Lewis Foundation. A Night of Unity, Tuesday, March 21st, live at 8 p.m. on Sports Channel.
A tough guy like Kramer should not take a dive like that. No, he's a tough kid. The guys that, and Eddie Burns' kid played his high school hockey at Arlington High School. Also played for the Halifax Lions up in Nova Scotia, junior.
Draw back to Jay Kenny, who can't keep it in the zone. Just as he was ready to tee it up, he lost control of it. John LeVar up for Hulbig. Hulbig has Green in. Green shoots, scores! George Breen. A tremendous backhand finish by Breen on a nifty feed from Joe Hulbig. And just like that, faster than you could say, prior power play, Providence gets the goal back, and they up their lead to 6-1.
Wow, this goal was extremely reminiscent of the one that he scored against Trent Kavicki of New Hampshire to tie the game 2-2. If you remember that goal, David, a beautiful pass by Hulbig. They don't have him recovered. Right side, left side, backhander, stuff it through. Beautiful play by Breen. Here he's a little more straight down the ice than he was against UNH, but that is a huge answering goal by Providence. 5-1 ahead. Right off the bat in the second period, 5-0. Maine makes it 5-1, and they answer with George Breen's 17th.
I like the way George showed it. Here's Burnett in. A backhander goes wide. Tipped out of the zone by Trevor Hansen. The length of the ice. Icing is the call. There'll be a face-off coming in the prior zone. 6-1 Providence in the third on Prime.
And Brenzovich made himself very big, stretching across the goal crease, thwarting Matthews of another RPI scoring opportunity.
So great plays at both ends of the ice from these goaltenders. Mike Tamburo for the Engineers and Brenzovich for the Colgate Red Raiders. And the face-off at the right side of Brenzovich with 8:48 left in the third period. RPI holding on to a 2-1 lead. And the draw rifled wide as a shot from the left circle. Snapped wide by Eric Ferrardi. Cleared out, and then fed back in by Brian Tapper for the Engineers. Dance helping it along to Steves on left wing. Colgate Steves at the red line directing it in. There's Tamburo leaving it for the defense. Up on the wall, played by Ferrardi. Headbanding for Craig Hamlin. Hamlin tried to turn in. Knocked down as Backey is all over him. And here come the Red Raiders again. Played across off the stick of Burgess. Back for it, Tapper. Can't get it by Steves. Steves in behind the Engineers' net. Fed to the side of the cage and picked up by RPI. Here comes Richardson with 7:50 to go in regulation. Slot area. Richardson can't turn in behind the defense. And back out a 3-on-2 rush for Cronin. Cronin centers it. Nobody was there. The only man a red shirt, and that was Tim Regan. Regan moving it off now. Right side for O'Connor. Laid back around the boards. There's Richardson. Richardson to his backhand. Flips it off the glass. Crazy bounce. And picked up on defense by Jack McIntosh. He can't get hit by Regan. Now tipped by McIntosh. Back over center. Recovered. In comes Regan to Richardson. Richardson wheeling and dealing a backhander right on the stick save, Brenzovich. And it's cleared to center.
RPI is really skating now. They're making the Colgate defense turn left and turn right, and they're getting right by them.
2-1 RPI leading it. 7 minutes to go, third period. Out the left wing, just a little too far for Cronin. Now he gets it. Angle shot off the glove hand of Tamburo. He just got enough to make the save. Back the other way, Chris May. May in behind the attacking net. Runs into big Cronin, the left winger. Also in there to help out is Rod Palmenter. And now as it's centered, the backhand try by Brick. Following it up, a blasted wide by Chris Kiley. Neutral territory. And as it was cleared out, shot back in by Doug Battaglia. Now Garzone. Garzone with a wrist try. Tamburo making the stop. Into the far corner. Kelly Askew. Askew able to clear the zone. The Mentor had to come back for it. He gives it to Garzone. Up over the red line. Neutral territory. Garzone gets it a second time. Gives it away to Wayne Clark. 3-on-2 rush. Engineers. Clark cutting down. His pass into the far corner as he's ridden to that corner by Palmenter. And finally cleared by Harder back to neutral ice with 5:50 to go in the third. RPI up by a goal. Garzone able to work ahead to the Busher. Neutral ice. Head up out of play as it was wristed by Matthews up over the glass into the Colgate bench. Break of the action. We're going right down to the wire. The Engineers lead the Red Raiders 2-1. We'll have more of the third period coming up on the Empire Sports Network.
Why do we have 5 grades of gasoline? Offering only 3 grades would be like selling suits in small, medium, and large. Not everyone would get a good fit. So, if you want to know why we give you all these choices, think about the guy who needs a 41 long, then picture him wearing a 39 short.
Right now, Sunoco has basketballs for just $4.99 with a fill-up. Hurry in before they're all gone.
Empire Sports Network is your home for Buffalo Sabres hockey. Don't miss the action tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 as the Sabres take on the Ottawa Senators.
Well, Dan Fridgen must have said a few words to the RPI players because they've been very watchful of their penalties this period.
On the left wing, a drive, and the save as Craig Hamlin's bid was knocked down by Brenzovich. 5:17 to go, and now Burgess unleashing one. That's blocked by Tapper, and goes up into the air and grabbed by Tamburo, and he was able to stop the play. 5:12 left, and you talk about end-to-end excitement. These two teams have just been going back and forth and banging away.
Well, here's the last play with Drew Burgess and a shot on Mike Tamburo, and then you see Dewberry coming in a little late, and Mike just not taking too much offense to it, not letting that incident get him off his game, which is a very important part of Mike Tamburo, is to stay focused, especially late in the game with 5 minutes and 12 seconds left and a 2-1 lead. The last thing he wants to do is get into a situation where one of his teammates are going off the ice for a penalty, as we see right now. It looks like
Eric Healy has gone off, as has one of the Red Raiders. And for Colgate, heading off is Steve DeBerry. Coincidental penalties.
So instead of Mike Tamburo getting upset, one of his teammates stepped in and decided to take care of the situation themselves. And so we have an RPI player and a Colgate player off, and 4 aside with 5:12 left.
Coincidental penalties, 14:48, and the official still over there dealing out the penalties to each side.
Sometimes you look down, you think you're seeing double because you see 2 referees on the ice, but no, there really are 2 referees. 2 referees and 1 linesman.
Colgate penalty number 11, Steve DeBerry, 2 minutes, hitting after the whistle.
Well, the penalty actually on Tamburo for hitting after the whistle. DeBerry goes off with the opposition at 14:48. And the penalty being served by Healy, but the Tamburo assessed the minor. Each side short a player with 4:49 remaining in regulation, and Colgate down by 1. And a drive. What a save! Tamburo getting the skate out. The drive coming from the high slot by McIntosh. Well, with that big ice surface, even more ice now with each side short a man. And it comes back at the right point to McIntosh. He gives it to Craig under his stick. And slides back to neutral territory. Back against the boards in front of the RPI bench. And they tangle up long enough for the stoppage and play. A little pushing and shoving there between Craig and the Engineers' Eric Ferrardi. And they separate. That got the whistle, stopping play.
So we look at Mike Tamburo, who I said didn't get involved in the altercation, and unfortunately he did. And that's why there's 2 players off the ice. But here's a nice split save by Mike Tamburo, again making a key save at the right time, keeping his team 1 goal ahead of Colgate. There's a nice pass and a shot right off the pass. Mike Tamburo had to react very quickly on that shot.
4:14 to go in the third. And the Engineers, Perron, working in. Garzone gets it back for the Red Raiders. Played to center. Here comes Mike Harder. Harder 1 against 2. Can't split the defense. That enables Tamburo. Work it up but not out. Clementer holding it in. Now for Harder. Into the corner. DePropio tried to get it. Harder does. Mike Harder. Right at the blue line. Sweeps it back behind the net. Clementer there for Colgate. Colgate needs 1 to tie. He's checked off as he tried to make a play around the Engineers' Clark. And now back down comes John Perron. Perron, angle try. Knocked down by Brenzovich, leaving it for the defense with 3:24 to go in the third period. Each side short of man for another 10 seconds. There comes Lofsgaard. Lofsgaard in front, the backhand try by Herder, and Tamburo's there to hold on as he makes the save.
Well, Eric Healy thinks he has Mike Harder as he's backing up into his own crease area. on Mike Tamburo, but Mike Harder is able to get that stick on the ice and keep his eyes on the puck as it's coming across and still get a shot away on Mike Tamburo. And Mike has to come up with another save. So it seems like every time an RPI player is in the box, the penalty box, Colgate has some great opportunities. And there's the focus on Mike Harder, keeping his eye on the puck, getting the puck to the net. And anytime you get a puck to the net, the goalie has to make the save. Otherwise, look out. We have a tie ball game.
Off the draw, pulled in front of the RPI net. Minors are over. Both teams back at full strength. In comes Roshan. Angle shot. Knocked down by Brenzovich. Roshan follows up. Wrist try. That's blocked. And up with it is Cronin. He swings it back to Dexter, the right defender. Moving down ice now is Brad Dexter. Dexter in across the attacking line. To the far corner. Tried to center. Had that blocked. Loftsgaard chasing it down. 2:42 to go in the third. Tim Loftsgaard gets it. Loftsgaard to the right circle. High slot. Cronin unleashing one. Didn't get really much on it. And a relatively easy save for Tamburo. It looked like Cronin was going to unload one and give it the big windup. Then got a shot away, but not as hard as he can bang it. And Tamburo, as it came straight on, makes a stop.
Well, Cronin was mad at himself. He was banging his stick on the ice and shaking his head. But I'll tell you, Mike Tamburo came way out again. There was really no one in front of him. He had a good view of the puck, and had Earl Cronin got a lot of wood on it, I think Mike Tamburo would have made the save anyway. He has been very, very sharp for RPI tonight.
You talk about nail-biting time. 2:33 left in the third period, and RPI leading it by a 2-1 score. There's not been a goal scored here in this period, nor the second. The difference right now is Kelly Askew's 8th goal of the year that came at 14:25 of the opening stanza. Inside RPI territory, around the boards it goes and slides back down to Colgate ice. Fomenter able to get there before Matthews came. Up on the boards to Busher. Trying to make a play over the red line. Recovered and flipped in by Wayne Clark. There's Brenzovich to Harder. Capping it back to DeProfio. DeProfio cutting in wide against Perron. Threw it through the crease, wide of the net. And now back out comes RPI. Worked by Wayne Clark, dumping it into the Colgate zone. And back out the Red Raiders. Garzone trying to find Fogarty.
With 1:48 left in the period, the Colgate coaches have to be starting to think about pulling the goalie in. If you look at Don Vaughn, he's got his hand up in the air. It looks like he's getting ready to call the goalie over right now.
Jeff Brick taps it back to the corner. Take it away, and moving out with it, Rod Fomenter. Up to Fogarty, the captain. Put it right out in front, knocked aside by Tamburo. And from the left boards, Cronin shooting it wide. Down to 124. And back in front, Cronin. Oh, what a save! Tamburo! He rubs him on the doorstep.
Mike Tamburo coming, sweeping across the goal crease with his glove. And guess who had the puck again? Earl Cronin. And for some reason, he went to pull it over to the far side. Here we have a better look at it here. The pass, perfect pass made across. And as Cronin is trying to pull it across, Mike Tamburo saves the day by sweeping his glove hand across the goal mouth, taking the puck away from Cronin. What a tremendous save by Tamburo. And he just waltzes away from the crease saying, fooled you on that one. Did he ever? Looking good. He's looking very good in this today. And Earl Cronin is still shaking his head.
Timeout taken. And I believe it's called by Colgate. As timeout, stopping play here. Both teams will discuss their strategy. And we see a shot of the Engineers bench. Dan Bridgen discussing the last minute 21 strategy with his team.
Mike Tamburo was just giving it to everybody as he's coming back to the bench, trying to inspire them, say, hey, I made this save, but don't put me in that position again, guys. We only have a minute and 21 seconds left. Play smart, play hard. Give me a break here. But if you do make a mistake, I bet you he's probably telling them, I'll be there for you again.
There's Don Vaughn discussing strategy with his club. Vaughn in his third year as head coach at Colgate, former assistant at St. Lawrence, went to school there, class of '84, and what a job he has done with his Colgate Red Raiders team.
And you know he's trying to tell them now, get the puck to the net. We need traffic in front of the net. Jam the play. If we do get a point shot, use the screens. If someone's laying down, get the puck up in the air, but get everything geared towards the net. And if they can get someone in front of Mike Tamburo and have a shot coming from the point and get it upstairs, it'll be a big goal for Colgate to tie the game up with 1:21 left in the third period, left in the game, and RPI leading 2-1.
Dan Brenzovich, Colgate goaltender, he and Tamburo have been outstanding tonight. Brenzovich 3-1 the last 4 games coming into this one. Brenzovich will move to the high slot but will not depart. If Colgate can win the draw, we could expect to see him head to the bench in favor of the extra attacker. And the attacker will be Mike Harder, who's getting positioned to jump onto the ice when possible. Banged around the board. Still, they've not pulled the netminder. Into the corner to Profio. Now, the goaltender leaves. Here comes Harder. Open net to our right. Extra attacker on. Closing minute, 4 seconds. Colgate needs 1 to tie and send the game into overtime. 1 minute remaining in regulation. As they tie up along the boards, a draw forced. Harder in there on the wall with Rochon. Finally, play whistle down, stopping the action.
Well, I think that's what Colgate wanted. They wanted to set up a face-off in RPI zone, and now it gives them a chance to get set up the way they wanted the players to be set up. And if they win the draw here, they'll have a great opportunity to get a good shot on net.
Brenzovich jumps back over the boards, will station himself at his own blue line again. If Colgate can win the draw, Brenzovich will leave, and Harder, who has come off, will step back on. Lothsgaard on the all-important draw. Pulled to Garzone. Garzone throwing into the slot. Brenzovich can't leave as the defense picks it up. Now neutral territory. And Dexter has to skate it down, picking it up away from Wayne Clark. 41 seconds to go. Colgate trailing by 1. Here comes Brenzovich, and Harder's back on for the extra attacker. Cronin tapping it back behind the engineer net. Back around the boards at the right point. Dexter goes into the corner. Colgate, the Profio centering. Intercepted there by Bartel. He works it back behind the net with 19 seconds to go. Left corner, Cronin throws in front off the skates of Lothsgaard. Back around the boards it goes, sliding back over the blue line. And in neutral territory, it's still loose. Shooting towards the open net, but wide is Wayne Clark. And we have a stoppage here. A tripping penalty has been issued with just 1.3 seconds remaining. A tripping penalty, and we'll see who's going to be heading off the ice, as it appears to be against RPI and is, as Jeff Matthews departs.
Well, I don't believe that this penalty will have a factor on the outcome of this game. But let me tell you, RPI really tightened up defensively on that last 1 minute of play. Colgate could not get it to the front of the net if their life depended on it. They tried many times trying to get it to the front of the net, but RPI kept moving it away from the front of the net, laying down in front of shots. Good hits, good physical play, good contact down deep in the RPI zone.
Saw Dan Frigid on the RPI bench saying, sit down, guys. Don't do anything to jeopardize what looks like a win. 1.3 seconds remaining. Open net with Brenzovich off, face-off, neutral territory. Lothsgaard out against Jeff O'Connor. And Lothsgaard wins the face-off, and that ends this hockey game. A hard-fought one, an excellent college hockey game. The final ends up RPI 2 and Colgate 1. And after a wide-open first period, Mike, neither team could score in either the second or third periods.
Well, what it looked like in the first period was that they were just trying to get a lead. Everybody was trying to get out ahead of the other team and fighting for positioning, I guess, because of the fact that both teams came out so hard. You know, all the chances that were created in that first period, incredible amount of chances, and we really thought the game was going to continue in that same manner. Unfortunately, RPI got involved in some penalty trouble in the second period, which helped Colgate create some scoring opportunities, but they couldn't capitalize on their power play, which was really unfortunate for Colgate. And Mike Tamburo, again, the star of the day, has to be the player of the game, just because of the simple reason that He did an incredible job for RPI.
And Dan Brenzovich was equally outstanding at the other end of the rink. I don't think either side could be faulted in any manner. It was a tremendous hockey game. And sometimes they say the third time is the charm, Mike. In the regular season, Colgate able to win both encounters, 1-6-3, 1-3-0. And then coming here to the first round of the Final Four in the ECAC playoffs. And it's RPI coming up with the 2-1 decision. Kelly Askew, the game-winning marker, and that occurred way back in the opening period at 14:25. And from then on, it was a standoff with outstanding goaltending at both ends of the ice.
Well, Colgate's program, you know, is only going to get better and better, and RPI and their tradition will just continue as they won because of the win here today. So Colgate hockey, they have nothing to be ashamed of. They put on a great performance here this afternoon.
So that is the story of this first game. Coming up, we'll have an opportunity to chat with our star of the game, the outstanding work of Mike Tamburo in net, winning for the RPI Engineers. We'll have a chat with him coming up and more right here at Lake Placid. Again, the final, RPI 2, Colgate 1 on the Empire Sports Network.
This skiing weather tip is brought to you by Snow Country Reports and your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
After a major dump in snow country, it's only natural to want to jump in the car and head for big mountain powder skiing. But you can have just as much fun if you head for a smaller area nearby. You might be just minutes away from skiing that same powder with warmer temperatures and less wind. And let's face it, shorter runs in deep snow are easier to take. When the day's done, chances are you'll have skied more miles and more vertical than those who pressed on to the higher peaks.
Yeah, they all look innocent enough until they start ganging up on you. Then you'll be glad you invested in the security of Jeep Grand Cherokee with full-time four-wheel drive, 190 horsepower engine, four-wheel anti-lock brakes, and a driver's airbag. Because when you're outnumbered millions to one, you need all the help you can get. Now get great values on Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealer now.
Enter the Speedy Super Sweepstakes now for your chance to win a grand prize of a fabulous weekend for two in New York City, including tickets to a Celtics Nets game, courtesy of Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Just by entering, you'll have a chance to win at autographed Celtics basketball, plus other valuable prizes. To enter, stop by your local Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up location and pick up an entry blank. Send it to Speedy Super Sweepstakes, P.O. Box 4501, Woburn, Mass. 01888. And while you're there, don't forget to ask for valuable Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up coupons.
Saturday, March 25th on AMC. Some say his tragic death at the age of 24 made him a star.
I gotta know who I am. I gotta know what I'm like. I gotta know, where is she?
But it was James Dean's stunning performance in Aliyah Kazan's East of Eden that was the beginning of his legend.
I know why you didn't love me. Because I'm like my mother, and you never forgave yourself for having loved her.
See James Dean's screen debut, East of Eden, Saturday, March 25th at 5:45 Eastern, only on AMC.
Watch thoroughbred action with Harvey Pack every racing day on Sports Channel. Tonight at 11:30.
And what an exciting opener to the ECAC Final Four tournament in the first of two semifinals here today at Olympic Arena. It was RPI coming up with a 2-1 win. You're watching the next two clubs will be battling here. Out for pre-game warm-ups, Clarkson against the Princeton Tigers. But getting back to the game we just saw, what a tremendous hockey game, end-to-end action. And let's check in with our player of the game for his outstanding work in net, Mike Tamburo. Mike, congratulations on a tremendous hockey game.
Thank you very much, guys.
Some outstanding saves. Let's take a look at some of the work that you made effective here tonight for your club, Mike.
I just thought our D did a great job of keeping the guys mostly to the outside, and I thought I was seeing the puck pretty good tonight. The guys kept those big Colgate forwards out of my way, and that makes my job a lot easier.
Mike, tell me, in the first period when Colgate scored their first goal, you had the puck for a minute. If you had that play over again, what would you have done on that play?
I think I definitely would have covered that up.
We were commenting on it, and we said the same thing. We said if you had the opportunity to have that play replayed, you would have froze it up. Is that what you're trying to tell us right now?
Yeah, I think I hit myself in the head there after the play had happened and they scored. I think I think we could have avoided most of that trouble if I'd have just covered it up. But I thought our guys did a great job of coming back from that, and they showed a lot of character getting those 2 goals in the first. And I thought it was just a great team effort tonight.
You must be very proud of your teammates. Tell me, what were you saying to them on the way to the bench during the timeout? You were very loud and vocal. What were some of the things that you were saying, if they can be aired?
I was just getting a little angry there near the end. It was about 7, 8 minutes left, and our guys were getting to their blue line, trying to make drop passes and looking for the 3rd goal. And I told them in a very polite way to get that puck down deep and make Colgate skate 200 feet to score. But I think they got the message and played a heck of a game in the last 5 minutes.
Mike, what did your coaching staff tell you in the 3rd period? It appeared that, at least for the first part of that period, your team was content to ice the puck, dump it out, keep it away from any scoring chance, and then all of a sudden it looked like something was said, the game changed a bit, and your team went to the aggressive style of play again. Was there a strategy towards that, or was it something you felt perhaps you were sitting back a little too much and Coach Bridget said, hey guys, 1 goal is not enough?
I don't think necessarily that was it. I think we came out with the intent of playing some solid D in the 3rd period, and our guys went out there and did that, and I guess Colgate opened up a little bit too, and the game had opened up, and we saw our chances, and I guess we went for them. I thought Danny Brunswick played a great game in net on the other side, and I was just happy to be in there, and I thought it was a great game to be a part of.
Mike, with the penalty situation in the 2nd period, was anything said about that? I'm sure that you were tested time and time again, and probably lost a few more pounds, even though you're not, a 200-pound individual. But they overworked you, I thought, in the 2nd period with those penalty situations. Did you say anything to the team, maybe in the dressing room?
I thought that we were just playing a pretty aggressive style, and I think we have to do that with Colgate. I thought that we may have gotten a couple iffy calls there, but I thought our penalty killers went out there and did a great job. And when they did happen to get shots on net, I made the first save, and our D cleared them out. So I think everything worked out well out there.
Mike, if there was a preference of which team you would like to be up against, who would it be, or does it matter at this time?
I think I'd like to see Clarkson again. I think that'd be a great final. And I think we've had their number this year. We got 3 to 4 points off them, and I think whoever we play, it's going to be a great game.
Well, we think you're going to do very well. You're going to be a big inspiration for that team again tomorrow. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Mike Tamburo, our player of the game, outstanding in net tonight, keying his Engineers to a 2-1 win over the Colgate Red Raiders in the first semifinal game right here at Lake Placid. You see the celebration as the game ends, and Tamburo and company are headed to the finals against, well, we'll find out coming up here shortly, either the Princeton Tigers or the Clarkson Golden Knights. We'll have more coming up between games of the ECAC semifinals in Lake Placid right here on the Empire Sports Network.
Change. It's coming faster. In this century, it took years for all the world's knowledge to double. In the 21st century, it'll take days. Only those with high-tech skills will excel.
Power, Spear 1 line, holding short of 1-6. Roger, Tier 1 here, right there,
1-6. I'm getting those skills now in the airport.
Tech Philippe, cash for Cartier. Heritage Estate buyers will pay you cash for these men's wristwatches or the others I will list. Heritage is on a national search for watches. We will help you with cash if you own a Vacheron, Universal Geneve, Breitling, also Audemars, Movado, and Le Coultre. Your watch can be worth thousands of dollars if it's a chronograph, moon phase, or repeater. This is an opportunity for you to receive cash for a watch that's gathering dust in a drawer. Heritage Estate buyers will pay you cash for the fine men's wristwatches we listed, working or not. If you don't call now, you're losing money. Write down our number. We're ready to pay top dollars now. Time means money. Call Heritage now. Call 1-800-352-2121 to learn how to receive cash for your vintage watch. Time means money. Call toll-free 1-800-352-2121. Call now.
The College Hockey Game of the Week on Prime is brought to you by Gatorade. The Gatorade Company reminds you if you're not standing on the sidelines, you're going to get thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
few moments ago. Brian Holzinger's 35th from Fry and Perot at 16:27 to tie this up. Holzinger stationed out in front. Here's Fry. He leads it in. Muncher hauls it out of the corner, leaves it. Fry comes back up with it. Out it comes, and this is Perot, the drive, the tip, the score. Take a look at it from down low. Come right at you. Look at the screen that Holzinger sets up. He forces Buzak to work off his shoulder. Makes him a little less mobile, among other things, and Holzinger and Perot team up. Now, Richard Keys had a pretty good chance in the late go, and he got isolated. One of the defensemen without a stick there, but Clark made a quick transition over, cut some angle, and put a stop to that. Michigan State will have a power play carryover into the second. Buddy Powers left his team alone most of the break. Then he had a couple of words.
Hey, boys, Hillsy hit it right in the head, fellas. Hey, no other place you should rather want to be than right here, playing to get in the finals, playing to go on and play for the next 2 weeks after this, boys. See it happening, fellas. See it happening. Just hard and smart. Get the puck deep and take your shots. Anything can go in. You just saw what happened in that first game, fellas. Put it on the net. Put it on the net. Hey, White, we ready to go play some hockey here? Let's go now.
And they're out there. And what he was referring to as we take a look at the statistical comparisons, which are pretty close across the board now, is the fact that Bowling Green's RPI has them near around the bubble of the NCAA tournament. And like Lake Superior, faced with playing their way into the NCAA through this playoff process. Lake Superior's won 4 games in the time of 8 days and may have put themselves in already with a victory against Michigan. That's yet to be determined because the RPI is a relative thing based on the other people competing for a berth. Bowling Green in the same situation. They beat Michigan State here, get in the final. They may have gotten themselves in. Of course, if they win the final, they're in.
Sudden death overtime underway. Michigan State has a man advantage, and a shot from out to the right point is knocked down by Clark. Comes right back to Dean Sylvester. Got into the right corner. Michigan State with a power play for another 54 seconds. Knocked out away. Goes back into the Michigan State end. Chris Slater is back together. Slater swings behind his own goal. Starts up the ice. Lead pass in the left wing to Keys in the middle. Keys flips it toward the left corner. Chased by Kelly. Perot around the right side it comes. There's a shot from the right side by Mike Watt, knocked down. Keys chips it back. Perot sends to the right side. Here's a shot deflected high, and this is out of play. .25 seconds left in the power play for Michigan State.
Take another look at it. Michigan State with some pressure. Barron steps up from below the goal line. Nobody there in attendance on the power play. Of course, they find the open man. Richard Keys sends it down underneath. Will Clark steps over. Covers up. Pops up in the air. And face-off comes outside. 25 seconds left to go in the power play.
Brian Holzinger and Anson Carter with a face-off. Controlled by the Spartans. Got in immediately. Wallet goes in along the left wing board. That ricocheted off and out to near the blue line. Played there by the Falcons. Dumped into the Michigan State end. Buzak throws against the boards. Far win. Now some pretty heavy pressure and stolen away by Curtis Fry, but taken back now by Carter. Long rink-wide pass for Guala. Nice move at center ice. Takes it down the left side, tries to squeeze through, and it's covered by Will Clark.
That was a really odd deal at the other end. It was almost as though Michigan State, who had possession below their own goal line, and used to feeling the pressure of the forecheck, sort of waited for it to get there instead of moving the puck. Real slow transition for the Spartans. Harlson gives it up. Chris Smith and Curtis Fry just jumps in between them. Bingo. They dodged the bullet, but by golly, you can't give up too many of those to Curtis Fry in that line. They're going to burn you.
It'll be Mike Hall and Richard Keys for the face-off to the right of Will Clark. Left comes to the near side, kept along. The power play time has expired. Both teams at full strength. Picked up by Jason Clark with a shot. Knocked down. Rebound is knocked wide. Now the Spartans started up on the right side. They head to Cozzolino. Cozzolino has it stripped away. Kelly Perot, right side. And it's cleared out of the Spartan zone. Get an icing call here against Michigan State. With 18-17 left in the first sudden death period. Bowling Green and Michigan State all locked up.
Bowling Green having a few chances here. We're tied in shots on goal, 30-30. Comes in against Mike Buzak. Rebound given away and off into the corner it goes. Both teams dangerous in the early part of the overtime. Cautious, but cautiously aggressive, I guess you could call it. They're going to the net.
Mike Hall operating in the right corner, has it knocked away by Steve Sook. He sends it around to the near side. Comes out to the left point. Perot lines up, drills it. And Buzak makes the catch. Wow, what a shot he has.
Yeah. He can rip it. There's no question about it. Michigan State had 9 power play chances. They're 1 for 9. Bowling Green 0 for 4. Clarkson and Colgate. ECAC third place game. Clarkson 10. Colgate 5. Clarkson 23 wins. Colgate finishes with 20-16 and 1. Just earlier on, Minnesota beat Denver in the WCHA third place game 5-4 in OT.
Wins the draw. Perot tries again. Buzak with a stick save. Long rebound coming out on the left side. Steered ahead back into the Bowling Green end, and Harper goes back. Brandon Harper swings around the goal, starts it up on the left side with a lead pass and for Jason Clark. Now shoved along into the Michigan State left corner and out of play. Come back to center ice for the faceoff. Buddy Powers spoke with his troops at the first intermission and suggested to them that he would like to see improved play. That is a bit of a paraphrase, but boy, since that little chat, this team really has changed directions.
I don't know for a fact, but I don't think he yells much. When he does, you better listen. He was yelling pretty good at that.
Anson Carter swings it toward the left corner. Long rebound. Shot into the corner again by Slater. Back to Guala. Centering pass. Picked off by Puncher. Off to the right wing it goes. Curtis Fry brings it to center. Ripped away from him by Anson Carter. Goes into the Michigan State zone. Comes to the left wing boards. Flipped into the air. Dropped at center by Todd Kelman. Now Kelman back in his own end for the Falcons. Moves it up. Puncher. Puncher slowly approaching his own blue line. Tries to squirt one through. It's broken up. Fly was tied up at center ice as the stick was ripped right out of his hand and is lying on the ice now. Shoved up the side. Long pass for Keys. He's in. He shoots. Shot it wide. Comes to the near corner. Now it comes on the right side. Brought up the ice by Jason Clark. Clark across the line. Clark has a lane. Clark has it poke-checked away and a nice play by Tyler Harlesworth. On the right point, Kelly Perot. Then back into the left corner. Taken by Jason Clark. Richard Keys sends it around and got away from Brandon Harper at the point. Harper back along with Cozzolino. Harper clears it out. Keys picks it off. Keys with a shot is flying to the right of Clark. Out to the left point it comes. Along the boards, left corner. Picked up there by Fleming. Now the Falcons bring it back. Put it up on the left side. Across the line. Mike Johnson has it knocked away by Van Steldinen. Then Van Steldinen vying for possession, and the puck comes out to center and skids on back into the Bowling Green end. We'll get an icing call against Michigan State.
Well, Richard Keys is sure getting his share of chances, no question about that. He wound up from behind his own net and headed up ice. Now, there were a couple of players, a couple of positions for Bowling Green being changed. There you see, Keys is cutting laterally through the neutral zone. He caught Carper flat-footed and flew right by him and simply fired it wide as he got in all alone. Nice feed up the center of the ice to him, too. He gets his feet moving. This guy can fly. He's a good player. Not all that big at 5'10", 175, but I'll tell you what, without him in the playoffs so far, they wouldn't even be here in the first place.
3-3 tie. We're in sudden death overtime. Michigan State and Bowling Green. Puck along the boards. Kevin Loon goes to the far wing. Hustling back is Rem Murray, and he clears it out. On the far wing, the Spartans started up. Brought across the line to the right side. Goes to the near wing. Out to center. Chris Smith drives it out of play. We played 4 minutes and 56 seconds of time in this extra period. Each team has had an opportunity, but the goaltenders have withstood the assaults thus far. Face-off at center ice. Anson Carter is on with his line. Brian Holzinger on with his line for Bowling Green. Comes to the near side. Van Staldina throws in the Bowling Green end. Tellman goes back to get it for the Falcons. Off the far wing for Curtis Fry. Tied up along the boards by Carter. Fry kicks it loose. Ackerman goes after it for the Falcons. Ackerman throws it against the boards near side. Hunter tries to clear it. Flips it into the air and into the seats. So we'll have a face-off in the Bowling Green end above the circle to the left of Will Clark.
Couple of hard-working goaltenders. 32 shots by Bowling Green against him. Clark stopped 27 to 30 so far. In a good duel in every respect.
These have been 2 outstanding games. Harper, near side, shoots it out to center. Van Staldina of the Spartans shoots it back in, knocked down by Carper. Loose puck comes out to center ice, picked up now by Puncher. Off on the left wing, it comes to Holzinger with a shot. Away by Buzak. Goes to the left corner. Holzinger tied up by Van Staldina. Fry goes in to retrieve the puck. Hands it back. Comes out to center ice. Carper throws it back in. And Buzak will leave it for Van Staldina. Now the Spartans started up. Lead pass on the right side for Chris Smith. Knocked away. Picked up now by Mike Johnson with a drive. Buzak for the save. Long rebound coming out on the left side. Flipped out of play. And we'll have a face-off in the Michigan State end. Well, Mike Johnson very dangerous. But Buzak meets the challenge.
Do you see how quickly Buzak got out there about 15 feet? There was nothing left to look at for Johnson. He was reduced to trying to overpower the big man. Take a look at it here. Here comes Buzak. Well, there's a little to work with, but not a lot. They try 5, and he closes it real quick. A lot of people go for the 5 against Buzak. That's been around the league as the book on him. Take him 5-hole. I suppose you can get some through now and then, but Mike's known that too, and he's worked on that.
Here's Mike Hall with a backhander, and Buzak covers it up. We're 6 minutes and 6 seconds into sudden death overtime. Bowling Green and Michigan State. Richard Keys in for the face-off for the Spartans, and Mike Hall for Bowling Green. It's to the right of Mike Buzak. Hall wins the draw, but he pulls it all the way back into his own end. Kelly Perreault is back to get it. Perreault with a long pass up the ice for Jason Clark. He's upended, and the penalty will be called. It's a hooking call against the Spartans, and now Bowling Green has an opportunity with a power play in sudden death. Penalty is assessed against Chris Smith.
Cutting through laterally. The head man pass right here. Defense making contact. But not enough. Off he goes. Take a look at it again. Chris Smith reaching in. Hauls down Jason Clark. So the 5th power play for Bowling Green will go to work. They have not yet converted one of them. A team is out.
road.
Fry, Holzinger, Carper, Perot. Should be Tom Glantz over there.
It is.
Yeah. Overload, which side? Left side.
Harper steers one through. One-timer attempted by Glantz, knocked away. Picked up by Fry. Fry hands it to Holzinger. Out to Carper, left point. Back to Holzinger. Swings one behind the net. Picked off by Fry. Fry to Holzinger. Carper with a drive. It sails wide to the left. Getting in deep is Perot. Now Perot comes up with it, brings it out in front. His shot is knocked down. Glantz. Loose puck. Murray clears it out for MSU. Long feed coming off the stick of Clark. Perot handles it, shoots it into the corner. Funny rebound, but Holzinger chasing after was poked away at the last possible moment. Perot, left side. Perot with a shot. Clark with the save by Buzak. A shot from the right side, a bouncing puck, and Buzak, who had already was down on the ice, reached out to pull it back to himself and cover it up. Lots of fun down there, isn't it?
Hey. This is a hot building to begin with. It's tough on goaltenders when the game goes this length. You see the first one come in. He steers it out. Tries to seal it right here and can't. In behind him. Spartan defense clears it back up. Now Buzak's working through a real crowd. Here it comes. He nestles it. He says, oh, let me take a break. The big guy's winded. Here it comes back to him. Clark, he's a big fella at the other end. 6'2", 190. Clark's in. 6'3", 197.
1 minute left in the Bowling Green power play. It's tied at 3-3. We are 7 minutes and 20 seconds into overtime. Out it comes right side, a drive from the right point. Buzak turns it to his right. Comes out to center. Played there by Brett Hunter. Hunter back at his own end. Starts it up. Long rink-wide pass right side to Mike Johnson. Johnson takes it toward the corner. Poke checked away and a nice play. And dug up by Vince Daldina and is cleared out of the zone. 34 seconds left in the Falcon power play. Brought up by Hunter. Off to the right side. Skated down the right wing now by Ackerman. Throws it to the right corner. Buzak stops it behind the net. Throws it up on the ledge. Ricochets out to center for Hunter. Taken away. Picked up on the left side. Here's a drive by Murray. And a save is made by Clark. 11 seconds left in the power play. Long lead pass right side. Brought down by Mike Hall. Hall is in. Hall with a little wrist check. Didn't get anything on it. And it's knocked to the corner. Out it comes to Harper. Power play time has expired. Harper jamming away on the left side. John Barron without a stick. And it's cleared out of the zone to center ice.
Tired Cowboys down there now.
Perot is back for Bowling Green. Steers it out to the right side, Jamie Williams. At center ice now, picked up by the Falcons and thrown in by Kelly Perot. Williams in deep right corner. Knocked away on the far side. Ackerman kept in at the right point. Ackerman tries to feed one through. It's broken up. Hops into the air. Shot from the right side. Turned away by Buzak. Comes out. Tuzolino picks it up. Tuzolino picking right, going left, loses possession, knocked out to center ice and back into the Spartan end, and there is no icing here. Back to get it, Chris Smith. 9 minutes and 15 seconds have been played in sudden death overtime, and we get an icing call against Michigan State. So we'll go back to the Spartan end, and you're talking about the tired Cowboys. You aren't kidding. Fellas are just kind of moving around in slow motion when they get an opportunity.
Defenses in particular. The forwards are in an advantageous position now. They're starting to threaten more and more to just walk right around the defense much more than they did earlier on. So Van Stalden a moment ago come through with a poke check because of the big reach on the 6'2 body. He can reach out there, but he was beat other than that. Bowling Green defensemen are struggling too.
Pritchard goes in behind the Michigan State net, drops it back, intended for Fry. He's tied up by Chris Smith. And Fry both go to the ice now. Puck line free. Pritchard comes up with it. Pritchard along the boards, but it's knocked away. Now the hustle back into the Bowling Green end. It'll be Todd Tillman retrieving it. Drops it back for Ackerman. Ackerman throws to the right side, comes along the boards and cleared the length of the ice. Will get an icing call against Bowling Green. They played nearly 10 minutes in this sudden death overtime period with neither team able to score. You saw the shots on goal in this overtime period, weighing heavily in favor of Bowling Green, but Mike Buzak has withstood the pressure.
Well, Bowling Green now is up to their average at about 36 shots a game, and Michigan State, coincidentally, is on its average, about 31 shots per game. They used an extra half period to get there. It's been a good defensive contest, really. Been a lot of contact. Defensemen generally played their gaps pretty well.